Hey, I'm Quincy and I'm a radio personality, but just like you, I'm always wanting to make better health choices for myself and of course for my family. Now that's why I've teamed up with my friend Dr. Dean Tyndall and the fine folks of New Life Naturopathic, the creators of new-lifeweightloss.com, to bring you a podcast focused on giving you the information you need to make the best health decisions for you and your family. Now, that's going to be without sway from what mainstream medicine has become. Now, this podcast, Pursuit of New Life, we're going to release one each Friday. And we're going to focus on debunking the mainstream medicine myths now associated with naturopathic, holistic medicine, while giving you clear insight into ways you can make your health a lifestyle and not a jump from fad diet to fad diet. Experts in the fields of biochemistry, chiropractic, physiology, women's health, and much more will weigh in on a range of topics, all designed to open your eyes, expand your knowledge, and bring you to new life. Now be sure to subscribe to Pursuit of New Life on all the podcast platforms, and also follow us on YouTube at newlifenaturopathic.com, and be joining us every Friday for Pursuit of New Life.
Yes, thank you for joining us again here on Pursuit of New Life. We're thankful for the opportunity to come along this journey with you, provide you some information as we take a holistic approach to a better lifestyle for you. We're all after that new life, and we're all after ways to make ourselves much more healthy. And so these are the right answers. These are the things you need to be listening to. And so we're grateful to provide that for you. So make sure you're providing that for your friends. Subscribe to the podcast on any platform that you would like, and make sure you're sharing that with your friends, and also checking out newlifenaturopathic.com. And you can find New Life Naturopathic on YouTube. That is the best place to find us there, and share that with your friends as well. So I'm going to bring in the team, and today that is going to consist of Dr. Dean Tyndall and Dr. Julie Stuber, and we are glad to be with you. Hello there, folks. How are you?
Hey, Quincy. How's it going?
Hi, Quincy.
I'm doing well. You know, we're on a journey here, and, we've talked about things like childhood obesity. We've talked about pets. We've talked about all kinds of things. And the thing that I think you probably get asked a lot, and I know even people that know that I help with this kind of a show are like, well, what do I do about supplements? What are those even for? So I think today's episode is the supplement question, because there's a lot really to dive into here. And so, Dr. Tyndall, supplements, are they good? Are they bad? What do we do with them? And why are they called supplements versus, well, what about vitamins? How are those different? Let's get started in this conversation today.
And it's a difficult and confusing conversation. When it comes to supplement, we use the term supplement in our office because it's there to, we always tell patients they're here to supplement a healthy lifestyle, because you can't supplement away an unhealthy lifestyle. You can't be, a lot of people do this. They want to work out, and then they go home and then they drink their alcohol, or they drink their, eat, cookies, candies, pastas, unhealthy food. And then they think they can pop some supplements that's going to or some vitamins, I'm going to say, to offset the bad things that they've done to themselves. And it just doesn't work. It's like hitting your head self in the head with a hammer and then taking an aspirin for the headache. Please stop doing the hammer. You don't need that.
Don't hit your head against a wall, I promise.
Don't hit your head against the wall. So, the reason it gets confusing is because the government gets involved. I hate the government. Anyhow, so what happened back in the past?
We just got canceled. Sorry, guys. Yeah,
there you go. We got censored. Basically, what you had kind of at the turn of the century is the Rockefeller and their group realized that you could make chemicals, medications, a lot of your medications and drugs. A lot of stuff is made from petrochemicals. And so how you try to corner the market is you try to outlaw your competitor, and then since I'm the only guy that you can buy from, then I can grow my business. And that's kind of how it works. And the easiest way to do that is influence through the government.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you had is when kind of the turn of the century, you had an agency in the government, federal government, was actually supposed to be for watching out to make sure it was pure food and healthy food and things like that, and things are food through processed. And what it got turned into eventually was the FDA, which is basically drug industry. It's just a way for the government to try to control drugs and try to control the industry. So anyhow, what happened is that normally what you used to get is your food from your nutrition from your food that you ate. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of geeky sometimes. I love reading old books, and this is like a book called Everyday Health Series, Keeping Your Body Healthy.
Yeah.
These are middle school books. Okay.
Wow.
And these books, this one's published in 1931.
1931.
Yeah. So it's fascinating because they're just starting to learn about nutrition. Like one of the vitamin complexes that we talk about is vitamin G. And in the book, it says, they can't synthetically make it. So, they don't really talk a lot about it. And today, when you talk to patients about vitamin G or vitamin F, people look at you like, what are you talking about? The reason being, if you can't, how the kind of government's done things is, since if you can't synthetically make it in a lab, you technically can't say that there's any health benefits for it, because they don't study really whole food nutrition. They study synthetic nutrition in a lot of these studies. So that's why the studies get confusing, because sometimes studies short term, you'll see they give them synthetic nutrition, they feel better for a while, but if you do long-term studies, most people feel worse, because synthetic nutrition actually depletes your body.
Yeah.
I know. It says, as you can tell, it starts to like, everybody's like bed spinning like,
Yeah.
I'm lost already.
It's a deep question. Well, Dr. Stuber, what do you want to add here to, supplement versus vitamins? Like, maybe some of the things you've seen clinically to add to what Dr. Tyndall's already telling us a little bit here.
Well, the most amazing thing is the amount of vitamins, herbs, potions, oils that women particularly, bring in and take. I have people say, and what you are taking, bring it in. And it just smells, you open the bag and it smells terrible. And what's even more interesting is when you ask, like, okay, well, why did you get this? Why did you get that? They don't even know. Oh, well, so-and-so said, I think maybe this happened, or I saw this on the internet, or I saw an infomercial on cable, or whatever. And what we do is about educating patients. So, I tell people, what you're doing with vitamins, minerals, they're complexes, and they're a supplement to what you're eating. They're not a replacement. You can't eat like garbage and then go in Walmart and buy some kind of pill or, potion to magically fix your body from the damage you're doing to it.
Yeah.
So, the answer's in the food you eat. You just can't do anything. That's the basics of everything.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing I see is just people buying garbage for wasting their money. They become toxic, and then you're trying to undo so many things.
And then you're trying to supplement away a bad diet or other bad habits. We did have, I think we have Miriam joining us now, another member of the New Life team.
So I guess I can just speak to my own experience of taking supplements. I, for many years, and before I met Dr. Tyndall and switched to Standard Process and MediHerb, I was also kind of blindly taking a lot of supplements, thinking that I knew about nutrition, and then seeing the commercials and ads on television. And that's basically all I was going off of, and the internet, of course, with
Dr. Google as
right. So we all know about that, right? Or can at least relate to it. And I definitely remember as soon as I switched to Standard Process, and not to just condone, one thing or one company, but I do know very well that, MediHerb and both Standard Process focus, their number one priority is on quality. And a lot of these government regulated, or as so they say, government regulated brands, even though they specify USDA or you know, organic or FDA approved for this and that, it's not really saying much because those standards, even though they are high, they can also get away with a lot, especially with that therapeutic dosage. But I personally immediately started feeling the difference in my health as soon as I switched to more whole whole food supplements.
And did you notice, like Dr. Stuber pointed out, did you notice like the chemical smell versus on the other stuff versus what you have through standard process?
Yes, absolutely. Especially the isolated, supplements like vitamin C or iron or whatever. They almost smelled like plastic. It was really, really
That's probably not far off, chemically speaking.
No, they're not.
Right.
They're all made from petrochemicals.
Yeah, and we're going to look at that here in just a minute. Continue, Maria.
That's right. And, versus, and I have kind of done the test of, side-by-side comparison just to kind of compare the smells and just the overall quality, and you can tell the difference. The whole food supplements actually smell like food instead of plastic.
Go figure.
And yeah, that's, after 2 weeks of being put on the regimen that Dr. Tyndall helped me with, I started feeling a difference in my health. My brain fog started to improve. Yes.
So while we still have you talking on this subject, since you have been on them and on that regimen for a while, have you seen the need to back off as much as you had to take? Because the whole point is to not have to take them all the time, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Well, in the beginning, I was dealing with a lot of health issues. It was a long list, physical and mental. He knows. Dr. Tyndall knows, because I wish I had it with me now, but I have a picture of all the supplements that I was taking, and my supplement tray was not closing. Like, I could not close it for the amount of
3 trays.
3 trays. Oh,
3 trays.
Wow.
3 trays, yes, a day. And it was a lot. And that was basically to just get my health back on the right track. And
just what they're designed to do. Yes,
exactly. And so that was a temporary phase, but it was worth every penny, worth every single tray that barely could close, and then once I was back on track, I was taking 20%, of what I was originally taking. And yeah, I definitely had a long list of a lot of health issues, and they definitely improved.
Wow.
Can talk about specific.
And I'm going to say Miriam was kind of a special case, because normally we wouldn't put, people on that many supplements, but Miriam, I was like, you want to experiment? I was like, hey, Miriam, we want to experiment, and let's go ahead and go for it.
I love experimenting. I love seeing myself as a guinea pig. That way I'm not liable for other people,
Bless it. All right. So we've already talked about the difference in the smell. We've talked about the difference in the taste and how that all impacts. Dr. Tyndall, this might be a good time to take a look at how these things are made and how complicated it looks even in this. We're going to show our YouTube viewers a graphic here, and we'll let you take a look at this. And I'm now trying to find that graphic. But you can go ahead and start talking about the synthetic and what all goes into making these things that are not the natural and whole food ones.
Well, when you start actually looking at some of these synthetics, how they're made, I tell patients, they're like, well, why do I have to use supplements? I said, first of all, we're using whole food supplements. We were going to feed you food, because food has thousands of chemical complexes in them. They have, bioflavonoids and enzymes and just a plethora of different stuff, microRNA. If you start to understand how that works in our body, And it has, like a carrot has, like, I think like between 200 and 300 known chemicals in it. So I would rather eat a carrot to get all that stuff our body's designed to use to get it. For example, this is a graphic here for those on YouTube that aren't going to see us. If you go to YouTube, you can look at it. But basically, ascorbic acid, which is what we call vitamin C, which is only part of the vitamin C complex, is actually made from glucose or nowadays it's actually made from high fructose corn syrup. But you can see the chemical process that it has to go through to become ascorbic acid. So
for people listening on the podcast, this looks like an engine diagram. Like, I mean, I couldn't tell when you first sent it to me, like, are we building a circuit today? Like, what are we doing?
You have to have a PhD in chemistry to get to where you can glucose, ascorbic acid, or you can eat a tomato or an orange or
wow. Yeah. So there's so many different, and we'll go to another one here on for our YouTube viewers. There's so many different synthetic vitamins that they try, and all this stuff in here. Not, I'm not a stupid person. There's times that I feel stupid, but I'm not. I talk for a living, and I cannot read my way through some of this stuff. This is nuts.
Yeah, like for example, B3 nicotinic acid created from coal tar and ammonia acid, 3-thiopyridine,
whatever that
and
is.
Formaldehyde.
I know I've heard that one before, but it's not good.
It's not good. B1 is coal tar, acetone, ammonia.
And look at this with B12 here, cobalt, and am I reading this correct? Is that cyanide?
Yes, it is. It's fermented in thiocobalt.
Yay.
Now, the only other time I hear cyanide is, those German guys that used to bite on their tooth to end it.
Yeah. What I think is interesting is the vitamin D. It's scientists irradiate animal fat to stimulate vitamin D synthesis, and they take the lanolin, the waxy secretion, and make that into vitamin D.
Okay. Well, anytime we have to use secretion in a sentence is not
irradiated secretions. or you can drink unpasteurized milk or cod liver oil, or get out in the sun to make vitamin D.
There you go. Now, some of us a little pastier than others. The sun might be, lower on our list, but we need more of that. So ladies, do you want to chime in on this, crazy list that we just looked at? I mean, there's a lot of stuff involved there, and we can make it a lot simpler if we really take a look at it.
I'd like to add a little bit about what Miriam was talking about as far as dosages. One thing with synthetic vitamins and people that decide they're going to do it themselves, when you get into dosages, people don't know what they're doing. They don't know how much to take. They look on Dr. Google. And synthetic vitamins, you've heard a list of what's in them. You make yourself sick. You make yourself more toxic. You can damage your organs. You can do all sorts of things. So when you take too many synthetic vitamins, in order to heal, we have to sort of flush that out of your system. So that's part of the process as far as why it might take more supplements to start, but gradually as your body heals, you need less and less because you're actually utilizing the substance. Like one thing I noticed with people that take a lot of supplements, and they'll tell you their urine's yellow, their urine smells, but physically people smell too. They don't realize it, but you can tell somebody that's taking, especially vitamin B, a lot of synthetic, they advertise B vitamins, B complex, B12, or COVID for stress, for all these things with your nervous system. And people begin to physically stink like that vitamin smell.
No, I was going to say, we all have our very own unique brand of smell, but you're talking about this, what we did earlier about this chemical smell and some of that stuff that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, it's like if you've ever opened, like when you open a vitamin bottle, you shouldn't have to do this when you open it. And people start to smell like that. It's bad. I mean, it's just not something you want to do. So part of the reason you want to get ideally your vitamins, your nutrients for our food is because you get things in the proper dosages. I don't believe Dr. Tyndall, Miriam might correct me, but I don't think you could overdose on broccoli. I don't think you can overdose on natural food.
My kids would probably disagree with you, but I like broccoli.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
True.
so one of the things that we probably need to talk about then is for people that are looking into it. We've talked about standard process, and I'm sure we'll talk about it some more because that's what New Life has and supports. But for people that are looking for a new direction when it comes to vitamin supplements, should they be finding a place like New Life to have a conversation? You talked about doing it through Dr. Google. It's hard to not go that route to start with. So, Dr. Tyndall, what's the best start to get on the right path with supplements?
Well, first of all, you want to find people who actually do this kind of work. There's a lot of doctors out there. That's why we put our telehealth program out there. But there is tons of doctors out there. And if you don't want to work with us, you can go on to Standard Process's website actually, and they will get you a name of a doctor that's actually that's close to you. Like with us, we work with people all over the country because we've been doing it for a long time and got a good reputation. But if you want somebody, and the other thing we tell patients is start with your diet. And that's kind of why we put our weight loss program together. We sell it as a weight loss program because that's what everybody wants. And that's what everybody's looking for. But our focus on the weight loss program is actually healthy food. So you can have that healthy body, so you can have that healthy weight that you want to be at and have the energy and the vitality and all those things. And that's why we focus on the food first, and then the supplements second. Because again, that's what you're there for. It's not we're not here to sell a bunch of stuff. And the other problem that you have is, it's very, very confusing. Like I tell patients, if you start to want to understand some of the aspects of, how complex it is, it's about synthetic supplements. This is a great book. It's called
Supplements Exposed. Yeah,
that's a great book. I tell patients to get it. It's like $15 at Amazon, something like that. But it kind of starts to give you an idea, like, oh, what's this stuff that's doing to me, and why we want to use food and from supplements and things like that. And the other problem that you have out there is, for example, in 2015, New York State did a study on herbal supplements that are out there on the market. And they went through like the GNCs and the Walmarts and the Kmart's, places that everybody, a lot of people buy their stuff from. And they did analysis on them. And we actually have this study that we hand out to our naturopathic patients when they come in, so they can because we're trying to educate them. And basically, when they went through all the different herbal products, the problem is none of the herbal products actually had anything in them. That's why we kind of use MetaHerb out of Australia, because in Australia, they're very stringent. And down in Australia, those are considered like pharmaceutical products, because in Australia, you go to a chiropractor, a naturopath, an herbalist first, then you would go to a medical doctor. So you start out more conservatively first, and then you work your way up, far as complexity goes, as you do your health stuff. So that's why we use we like the Standard Process products and the MetaHerb products, because MetaHerb's got therapeutic dosages. Standard Process is made from food. Like Miriam said, they're really high quality. We've been to their research, been invited several times to the research facility and to the farms up in Wisconsin. And it's fascinating.
These are people that don't hide the research results. They let you know.
They're giving us stuff all the time.
Yeah.
They're constantly, that's why I find it's funny, is because I get, doctors that we sometimes work with, and they're like, well, you're not FDA approved. And I said, well, first of all, what we do doesn't kill people, so you don't have to go through FDA approving stuff. It's serious.
First of all,
yeah. Because most of your drugs out there, all drugs that are out that have actually passed through FDA have went through stringent testing, all these clinical trials, and guess what? They still kill people. They still have tons of side effects. They don't know the interactions with these drugs once you can get past 3 drugs. And we see patients come in, and a patient to come in our office with between 8 and 14 medications. It's nothing. Man. It's nothing new. So people, what we're trying to do is get people to educate yourself and say, hey, look, the only person that's going to care about your health is you. We care a lot about your health. And sometimes it gets frustrating for us because we actually sometimes care about your health.
Care more.
You do,
Yeah.
you know, but we need, people have to kind of say, hey, I got to take responsibility. And I know, changing your dietary habits are hard. That's why, again, we put their program together. For example, how this program works great, and people love it. I had a guy that we're working on just recently, about a month ago, we started. He has stage 3 kidney failure, diabetes, a bunch of other stuff. So he's been the gambit, been everywhere. He's in here. We put him on an eating program. We put him on the vegetarian, like he didn't have a choice to say, you're on the vegetarian program, because we need to cut down the proteins going through the liver, a whole bunch of other stuff. We got to get your blood sugar down. Anyhow, he came back for his follow-up visit. He's lost 24 pounds. We're going to get some labs run on him here pretty soon to see where he's at with his globular filtration rate and his kidney function. But the guy's ecstatic, and here's what's interesting. He was like, he loves the vegetarian program. He loves the food. He loves how it tastes. And he's like, how do you guys come up with these recipes? And I kind of explained to him how we go through the process of putting these things together. It's a long process, but yeah, we get great results. And again, he's seen a huge turnaround in just a month with incorporating the whole aspect of eating healthy food and having whole food supplements, good herbs, and he's getting his health back very quickly.
So we've got a few more minutes, and Miriam, I wanted you to comment on your journey. You talked about how many supplements, the trays and trays, to now down to 20% of what it was. What kind of is your goal as you go forward? Are you feeling like you're getting to places where you can pull more supplements away, and kind of maybe talk on that again? Because I think people feel like that's more mathematical than maybe it is, or maybe give a nice little testimonial there for people that are dealing with that.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, as I mentioned, I was dealing with a wide array and a long list of health issues, both physical and mental. And I could not even think straight enough to learn about and know about what I needed to do to improve my health.
And you're somebody that came off of doing well in medical school. So to say the brain fog was that bad is saying something.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, it all happened for reasons. So I'm kind of thankful for the for the health reasons, because
the journey
away from med school, and I was able to continue on this path. But it's a journey. It really is a journey, and you are responsible for your own health, but there are people here that also care and are here to support you. And I'm just so thankful for the knowledge that I have learned myself as a healthcare provider, and just kind of being involved with this as well. But also as a patient, you just gotta take it little by little, take steps. And it's definitely not anything mathematical. Everyone's different. And, you might start out with a whole bunch of supplements, and then a few days or weeks later, you're down to maybe only 3 or 4.
Yeah, knocking trays away, just taking
exactly. And right. And to me, that just kind of gave me a good visual of my progress.
Yeah.
Basically seeing that I am finally back on track and improving my health, and just kind of going back to some of those pictures and seeing how many supplements I was on. It's definitely a good feeling.
That's great.
So
I do that with pictures of my kids when they were little, and I put them in the crib to see how big they are now, and it gives me a whole different thought.
Right. My idea.
Well, Dr. Stuber, we're going to let you have one more crack at this. Anything else you think it's important for people to know about the difference between supplements and vitamins? Something maybe from a testimonial that you know of a patient that said something great about, doing the right path like Miriam is talking about. Anything else that you want to end with today? Closing words from you.
Well, I mean, it is amazing when you take whole food supplements, the changes that you get. I would like to respond to as far as maybe what you have to take at the beginning versus where as you get healthier and achieve your optimum health where you have to be, because our food has gotten so non-nutritious just by the way, even what you think is healthy food, it's still depleted in nutrients. So I treat mostly women. So I tell women that our goal, personally, I think there's 5 basic supplements. You need a multivitamin, your calcium with vitamin D, healthy fatty acid, an antioxidant. And there's one more I can't think of off the top of my head. Now that varies with people, but fundamentally when you take those, in my opinion, it covers all the bases. So that is my goal with patients. And the big thing is it's easy to understand. The standard process, they have detailed explanations of what's in their products. And again, it's all natural from food. So you get absorption and it works.
Well, I think we have covered some good ground today, friends and team. Dr. Tyndall, do you have anything else to add to close out this wonderful chapter of Pursuit of New Life?
Yeah, just everybody, if you want to be healthy, and we're here to help you. We're here to guide you. We got a great team together, and we're here. Like I said, we got resources for you to make it a lot easier for you, so you don't have to do it yourself. We've all gone through a lot of schooling, a lot of education, a lot of stuff to get to the knowledge that we've gotten, and you're just not going to do it on your own. You're just, again, it's just very complicated, very complex. Yeah, you have to know what you're doing, and that's what like I said, we're here to help you, guide you, and put you on the right path. What you have to do is you have to make the call, follow the advice, and then and do the things we recommend for you. And like I said, our goal is to get you healthy and get your life back, and do what we can to so you can have that full life and everything you want out of your life.
Yeah. Well, supplements can get you on the right track, but it is not to take the place of doing the right things with your diet. And I think that's one of the big takeaways today. And then also the difference between synthetic and the whole food supplements. And you can get a lot of great information from newlifenaturopathic.com. Also, as you've seen on our YouTube channel, newlifenaturopathic.standardprocess.com is a good place to go as well for that part of it. We also always encourage you to go to new-lifeweightloss.com. And if you would like to email, ask any questions of the team, that is at contactnewlifenaturopathic@gmail.com. And we're grateful for the opportunity to be in front of you today. If you're watching on YouTube, and also if you're listening on podcast, we'd love for you to subscribe, share that with your friends as we continue to go on this holistic journey and get information out there for you to make the best choices toward lifestyle change, not just a fad diet, not just for weight loss, but to really take the steps to make a lifestyle change that's going to make your life feel like a new life, as you've heard from the testimonies today about how these things can change your life. Well, for the team, Dr. Tyndall, Dr. Stuber, and Miss Miriam, we are appreciative of your all's time. I want to let you guys get back to your patients and other things that you've got going on. So folks, download, subscribe, and all of that good stuff, and we'll see you next time on Pursuit of New Life.
All right, take care, Quincy. Thank you.